I don't think people really appreciate how bad Biden's poll numbers are. When you look at them, it's like walking down on your grandmother naked. You can't unsee them, no matter how hard you try.
As only the raging Cajun Democratic strategist James Carville can put it. He was the brains behind Bill Clinton's 1992 campaign. He's the guy who came up with "It is the economy, stupid." New polling from CNN proves his point. In 2020, Joe Biden won voters of color in Michigan by 62 percentage points. The latest poll out this week shows that lead down to just 21 points. Carville says he believes the change is happening because there are, quote, too many preachy females leading the Democratic Party. Here now, political analyst Laura Fink, founder and CEO of Rebelle Communications. Good to see you. Thank you. All right, I think reasonable people can agree that it was a rather sexist remark, but does that make it wrong?
Well, he thinks we have too many preachy females. It sounds to me like we just might have one too many drunk uncles in the Democratic Party. Biden won women in 2020, 57 to 42. Women are the bedrock of the party, as always. Now, do we need to win men along the margins? Certainly men of color, absolutely. But this looks like a publicity stunt. If you drag a $2 microphone through the bayou, you just might find James Carville. He's great at attracting the media, and that's what this is all about.
Well, fair. Maureen Dowd, though, of the New York Times is the one who wrote it. So I think, I mean, you have to give them credit that this is a guy who single-handedly turned Bill Clinton into the comeback kid in New Hampshire. Just in terms of what we're saying, in terms of women being the bedrock of the Democratic Party, you look at the women associated with Biden: Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, KJP, Kate Bedingfield, Gina Raimondo, Linda Thomas Greenfield, Jennifer Granholm, Julie Chavez-Rodriguez, Ketanji Brown Jackson, Supreme Court Justice. I don't know if you'd say that as a surrogate, but certainly somebody who he appointed. Who is the woman, though, that men outside of the coastal elite, outside of the Acela corridor from Boston to Washington, and outside of Southern California, that men, working class men, relate to?
Well, working class men, Dems haven't won men since Carter. And in 1992, he didn't win men. Clinton didn't win men. So I don't know that you need to blame women and take pot shots at women leaders while we're talking about how do we attract people to the Democratic brand and base, and how do we expand that. This election is going to be won on the margins of young voters. It's going to be won on the margins of voters of color. This is not an election where one group is going to dominate, but it feels like this is an analysis.
Well, okay. Laura, I get the point that it's going to be won on those margins, but it also is going to be lost on those margins. People, you're entitled to your own opinion, not entitled to your own facts. Right now, in Michigan, voters of color, his lead is 40 points off where he was in 2020. There's a reason for that. What do you, hold on, there's a reason for that. What is your reason? What's your explanation?
But the reason is we got to start listening to voters. And I think that's what's missing from Carville's analysis that I really take exception to, is he doesn't have facts behind him. He just has analysis about burgers and beer and football. And I hope that he grabs a beer and watches some football and maybe listens to a few more voters, because that is going to be the path to winning them back before Election Day. Anybody that pretends they have the silver bullet for any demographic group is shining you on. We need focus groups. We need to get out there. We need to start talking to voters.
When you talk to voters, and you talk to voters of color in particular, especially black men, they tell you that there are real issues that they have that speak to beer, football, and hamburgers. I mean, you can make fun of the sort of the simplicity of it. I get that, but these are the issues that voters tell us, and certainly the issues that white men tell us are a problem for Joe Biden.
Yes, that white men may tell you, and I'm not the expert on white men, but I will tell you in the data that I've looked at with respect to voters of color, they're bringing up things like a lack of trust in the system, a lack of seeing progress on the issues they care about, really being disenchanted with government generally, and Biden is the head of that government. So there are definitely problems, and I don't deny that, but I do think that we have to look at what those are with clear eyes and not just make things up out of whole cloth. If James Carville has data to back up his assertion that women running the Democratic Party is causing problems, I want to see it. If he thinks that men of color are going to come back when we talk about burgers and beer, show me the data, show me the numbers.
All right. Laura, thank you very much. Good point in terms of showing me the data. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.